Yes, good morning students. Welcome to your social studies class. Today we are going to start the first chapter of geography, which is resource. So we all have seen different type of things which are in our surroundings, and they are very useful for us. For example, the books we have in our house, the chair that we use for sitting, and the table we use for writing the things, and like the clothes that we used to wear, the utensils that we used for eating food. All these things are known as resources because they all have use. So what are resources? Resources means anything that can be used for satisfying need is a resource. For example, when we drink water, the water provides us satisfaction. For example, the electricity which came into our house, it also provides the satisfaction. Same like when we are feeling very hot, we used air conditioner or cooler in our houses. So this is also satisfaction of our needs. So all the things which satisfy our needs came under resource. So resources are those things that satisfy the needs of a human. We call them resource, right? So we talk about water, we talk about electricity, then we talk about, like, for example, if we have to move from one place to another, we use buses, we use rickshaw. For example, our father has made a very tasty breakfast, so for making a tasty breakfast he has used some vegetables, so that means vegetable is also a resource. So water, rickshaw, and these vegetables and electricity, they all have something in common. And what is this common thing? They all have been used for some purpose and they all satisfy our need. So that is called the utility of a product or a object. So what is utility? Utility means utility or usability of an object makes a substance resource. When we use the object, when we use any substance, when it provides us satisfaction, when we get some satisfaction from that particular substance, that become resource. So that means when a substance is used which satisfy our need, we call them a resource when we get some utility from that product, right? So now we now call that all resources have value. The resources that we are using all have value. Value means worth. Worth means when we calculate the value of a resource in the form of money. Some resources have economic value, but some resources does not have economic value. For example, when we talk about some metals like gold, silver, diamond, all these resources can be calculated in the form of money. That means these resources have some economic value. But when we talk about a beautiful landscape, can we calculate the landscape in a form of money? No. We cannot calculate the landscape in a form of money, but these both resources, one who can be calculated in the form of money and second who cannot be calculated in the form of money, both satisfy human needs. As the beautiful landscape satisfy our inner joyness, we feel very delighted to see such a beautiful landscape, but we cannot calculate that joyfulness in our we feel in the form of money, but the satisfaction is there. So what we call a resource, in the earlier definition we have discussed, anything that can used for satisfying need. Either we can calculate them in the form of money, or sometimes it is not possible to calculate them in the form of money. So both things which can be calculated or which cannot be calculated, but if they both satisfy human needs, we call them resource, right? So some resources become economical valuable after time. Like here is a small example. Like we all in our homes, our grandmothers used to have different type of remedies related to our health issue. So can we calculate these health issues remedies in form of money? No, we cannot calculate the remedies given by our grandmother in the form of money. But if we sold the remedies made by our grandmother in a medical store, can we calculate it in a form of money? So the answer is yes. So it means some resources become valuable after time. So the remedies given by our grandmother, if that remedy can be patented and can be sold in a medical shop, it will get a economic value. So this was the introduction about the resources, that what are resources, what is utility, can we calculate the resource in the form of money or not. If we calculate, then can it call be a resource, and if we cannot, can we call it a resource? So yes, we can call them a resource if they satisfy human needs. Now we are going to discuss the different type of resources. As we know that there are two type of resources, one is natural resource and the second one is human made resource. Today in this session we are going to discuss about the natural resource and the classification of natural resource one by one. Yes, now so starting with the first type of resource, which is natural resource. Under the natural resource, what are natural resource? Natural resources are the resources which are given to us by the nature as a free gift, like air, water, land, soil. So all these came under the category of natural resources. But for using these natural resources, we require technology, we require human resources, so that these resources can be used in a best possible way. For example, like if we have a land, so land is a natural resource, but if we want to grow food or grow crops on the land, we have to use a technology, we have to use the human made resources. So with the help of human made resources, it becomes possible for us to grow crops on land. So natural resources, are the resources that is given by the nature, but for their best possible way, we have to use human made resources as well. Right? Then on the different basis of classification, natural resources are divided. So we are going to discuss about these classification of natural resources one by one. So starting with the one first distribution is on the level of development. Natural resources are divided into two categories, actual and potential. So under the actual resources means when the resources are known to everyone, we call them actual resources. For example, like as we know that in the northern plains alluvial soil is there, so we have a knowledge about this resource. Same like we have a knowledge that petroleum is found in West Asia, so we have a knowledge about this resource. For example, we know that in Africa there is a mineral wealth found there, so we have a knowledge about this resource. So those resources about which we have a information about availability, we call them actual resources. But when we talk about potential resource means the resource which can be used in future. Now there is no such information about their usage, but in future we can use these resources. So the usage of resources in future is known as potential resources, right? For example, like earlier we don't have such information that moving winds can be used as for the purpose of creating electricity. So at that time that came under the category of potential resource. But when we got a knowledge, when we have a technology that we can use the moving winds to convert the moving winds into electricity, then it become under the category of actual resources. So when we have information about the resource, we call them actual resource. But when we do not have complete information about the usage of resources, but they can be used in the future, we call them potential resources. Then came to the second distribution of natural resources is origin. So according to origin, natural resources are categorized into two parts. One is biotic and second one is abiotic. So what are biotic resources? Biotic resources are those resources which collectively consist of living organism, or those resources which have life. For example, animals, human beings, plants, all these came under biotic resources. So when we talk about abiotic resources are the resources which consist of non-living things or which do not have life. For example, the chair, table, land, water, air, all these came under the category of abiotic resources. Then the third distribution is exhaustibility. According to exhaustibility, natural resources are categorized in renewable and non-renewable resources. You have discussed about this earlier in in so many topics. We have discussed what is renewable, what is non-renewable. So renewable resources are the resources which can renew again and again. So human activities do not have any impact on these type of resources like solar energy, wind energy and tidal energy. So these resources are the resources which can be renewed again and again and not affected by human activities. For example, other renewable resources are water or soil. So water resources are hampered by the human activity, as water can be renewed again and again, but after this we see that there is so much shortage of water in many areas, so these can be renewed again. But if we follow the practice of wastage of these resources, then it becomes very difficult to renew these resources again and again. And when we talk about non-renewable resources, so non-renewable resources are the resources which cannot be renewed again and again, as they take thousands of years to become a non-renewable resource. For example, the metals, coal, petroleum. So these resources are the resources which take so much time to renew again, and we can recycle these resources, like we can recycle metal like copper, iron, gold, but it has become very difficult to reproduce them again, so they came under the category of non-renewable resources. And the last category of distribution of natural resources, first is ubiquitous and second one is localized. Ubiquitous resources are those resources which can be found everywhere, like the air we breathe, the sun energy that we got. So these type of energy or these type of resources which can be found everywhere came under the category of ubiquitous resources. And when we talk about localized resources, so localized resources means the resources which found on a particular place. For example, some resources are found only at one place, like copper, tin and iron. So these metals are found on a particular place. They cannot be found everywhere. So they came under the category of localized resources. Right? I hope you understand the concept of resources, and then you understand the concept of natural resources and its distribution. Thank you, students, and have a nice day.